Today, we're going to dive into a really old story, one from Krishna's childhood. Now, you might think it's just a classic myth, but hidden inside this incredible tale is a message that is so surprisingly modern. It almost feels like it was written for us, right here, right now. You see, these ancient stories were never just about amazing feats of power. They were always teaching tools. And as this quote points out, one of the big lessons here is about our duty to protect the environment. It's all about reframing our relationship with the natural world, not as something we just use, but as something we have a sacred responsibility to care for. At its core, this whole story is about the bond between people and nature. And think about it. In our age of climate change and environmental worries, that's a theme we really need to be thinking about. Okay, so let's set the scene. We're in the village of Nandgaon. Picture this. The whole community is buzzing. Everyone's busy preparing for this huge, ancient tradition. And this isn't just some festival for them. It's a matter of life and death. So what's all the fuss about? Well, it's all for Indra, the king of the gods, the one who wields the thunderbolt. But here's the thing. Their devotion isn't really born out of love or respect. Nope, it's rooted in fear. They worship Indra because they are absolutely terrified of his power and the crazy storms he can send if he's not happy. And this moment right here, it just captures the whole mindset perfectly. When a young Krishna starts asking questions about this tradition, his own mom, Yashoda, shuts him down. Her warning, his wrath can be terrible. Well, that's not just a mother telling her son to be quiet. It's the voice of an entire culture that has been conditioned by fear. And here it is, the turning point. With that simple, brilliant logic that only a child can have, Krishna asks the one question that just cuts right through everything. He challenges the entire foundation of what they believe. I mean, it's a fair question, right? Why would you worship a god you're forced to worship? A god who demands your devotion with a threat of punishment? Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Because Krishna doesn't just poke holes in the old way of doing things. He actually proposes a completely new, revolutionary idea. He gets the villagers to stop looking up at a distant, scary sky god and instead look at the world that's right there in front of them, the world that actually gives them life. He starts with something simple, something nobody can argue with. We're cowherds, he says. Our entire life, our community, it's all tied to our cattle. The cows give them milk, they sustain them every single day. So he argues, isn't the cow itself worthy of worship? But he doesn't stop there. He keeps connecting the dots, creating this beautiful, simple, ecological chain. The cows need the forests to graze. If the forests aren't healthy, the cows aren't healthy. He's basically teaching a fundamental lesson in ecology. Everything is connected. So you should worship the whole system that supports you. And here's the brilliant finale to his argument. He points to the Govardhan mountain. He explains that it's the mountain that makes the rain clouds burst, which waters the forests, which feed the cows, which sustain the people. He's saying, you're all afraid of the god of rain, but you should be grateful for the source of the rain, the mountain itself. So let's just break this down. What Krishna is proposing is a radical shift in thinking. It's a move away from a system based on fear of a distant god to a new system based on gratitude for the local, tangible world around you. It's moving from a relationship where you're just trying to appease a powerful being to one where you actually respect what truly gives you life. So Krishna's argument is so powerful and so logical, the villagers are completely convinced. And they decide to do the unthinkable. They break with this ancient tradition, and in doing so, they're about to set off a dramatic and, frankly, terrifying confrontation. And they go all in. They follow Krishna's advice to the letter. All the offerings, the prayers, the devotion, everything that was supposed to go to Indra is now given to Govardhan Hill. This is a huge slap in the face to the king of the gods, and you can be sure he's going to notice. And yup, he notices. Feeling ignored and disrespected, Indra's ego is bruised, and his fury becomes a terrifying reality. He unleashes a massive storm. We're talking torrential rains, violent winds, all designed to completely wipe Nandgaon off the face of the earth as payback. Well, faced with this incredible storm, the villagers' new confidence just shatters. Absolute terror takes over. They immediately turn on Krishna, blaming him and his new ideas for bringing on this disaster. They're begging him to apologize to Indra before they all get wiped out. The fear is back, and it's stronger than ever.
But what happens next? This is the beautiful climax of the whole story. The very thing that Krishna taught them to worship, the Govardhan Mountain, becomes their literal shield, their salvation. It proves his point in the most spectacular way you can possibly imagine. So as this crazy storm is raging, Krishna just calmly walks over to the base of Govardhan Hill. And then he does the impossible. He lifts the entire mountain up with just one hand. He holds it high, like a giant umbrella, and all the villagers and all their animals huddle underneath, totally safe and sound from Indra's storm. Nature itself is now protecting them. And this incredible act earns Krishna a new name, Giridhar. And it means exactly what you think it means, the one who lifted the mountain. This title forever links him to this event, cementing his identity as a protector who works with and through the natural world. The storm keeps going, but it's completely useless. Indra's power is totally neutralized by the very mountain he was trying to destroy. Humbled, defeated, this once fearsome god comes down from the heavens and actually begs for forgiveness. The philosophy of fear has been totally defeated by the philosophy of gratitude. So the new way of thinking this story gives us is crystal clear. True divinity isn't some distant, threatening thing. It's right here. It's in the things that sustain you. And worship shouldn't be about fear. It should be an act of gratitude for our immediate environment, our greatest protector. In the end, nature isn't separate from the divine. It is an expression of it. And that brings us to the final, really important thought. This story isn't just about a god lifting a mountain. It's a parable that completely redefines our relationship with our planet. So, if we take this ancient wisdom to heart, that our life-sustaining environment is the truest expression of the divine, what does that demand from us in how we live our lives right here today?